again, and we are going to discuss something about chanting Hare Krishna from the book called The Living Name by His Holiness Sachinandan Swami, so that we can go deeper into the practice of Japa. I feel so enlivened seeing all of you, early morning Saturday. So that itself, as Achyuta Chaitanya Prabhu mentioned in one of the Japa sessions, coming early morning, that itself is 50% or 60% success. Now we just need to bring our mind as well. Okay, so we'll try to read from this book. There's a section called the real name versus the shadow name. We want to chant real names of Krishna. And I seek blessings of all the devotees. Okay, Hare Krishna. So this section is the real name versus the shadow name. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written 2 books on chanting, Shri Harinam Chintamani and the sequel, Bhajan Rahasya. He says in the 3rd chapter of Shri Harinam Chintamani that we need to chant in the awareness of our relationship with Krishna. If we don't do this, then we will only ever obtain a shadow of the holy name, not the real name. This is a quote from Shri Harinam Chintamani 327. As long as someone does not understand his relationship with Krishna, the individual soul will take shelter of Namabhas, the shadow of the holy name. There is a difference between the real name and its shadow, just as there is a difference between an actual tasty meal on a plate and a projected image of one. We cannot actually eat from the latter. It is a shadow of the real thing, leaving us hungry, and as a result, forcing us to go elsewhere to eat something real. It is the same with chanting. If we chant the shadow of the holy name, that is to chant without any conscious awareness of our relationship with Krishna, we also remain spiritually hungry. And as a result, we are drawn to taste the pleasures of the material world. Without the spirit of the name, we are forced to seek out material satisfaction and make unconscious compromises to our Krishna consciousness. The tragedy is that this is often done unconsciously, and we don't even know what we are really doing or what we are really missing. You might ask, why can't we just remain neutral and go on chanting the name of Krishna distractedly without becoming materially motivated? The constitutional nature of the soul is to constantly gravitate towards enjoyment. We need enjoyment like we need water. Therefore, if we don't get spiritual enjoyment, we have no other choice but to look for short-term, illusory material enjoyment. Hence, it is absolutely essential to get spiritually nourished. If we don't, our hearts will feel immediately spiritually weak. This is an important signal we often miss and must urgently pay attention to. Therefore, as long as one does not learn from a bona fide spiritual master about the true relationship that exists between oneself and the Supreme Lord, he or she remains consigned to the anartha of ignorance. So, if we do not chant consciously with about our relationship with Krishna, which is given to us or revealed to us by the spiritual master, who is a pure devotee of Krishna, then we will only chant the shadow name. I'm chanting, but I don't know why am I chanting. I don't know who the person is, whether he is listening to my calling or not. So unconsciously, I will gravitate towards material pleasures because I see reciprocation in material pleasures. When I eat something or when I meet with somebody, I can see reciprocation. However, with the chanting holy names, if I do not have the conscious relationship, I will not get any reciprocation. So, one example is given, as Maharaj says, that one is unconsciously doing. For example, I heard this in a class. We become expert with using our left hand. When we are chanting Japa, because we are distracted, we use mobile or we stir a pot cooking something while doing japa with the right hand. So this is called unconsciously compromising with the spirit of chanting. Why? Because I'm spiritually hungry, I'm not feeling nourished. So it is important to chant knowing our relationship with Krishna. To know our relationship with Krishna, we need to read from Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. We need to hear from pure devotees, and then we can understand our relationship and chant. So we'll try to chant for some time, and then we'll come back for reflections. Hare Krishna. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे राम राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे राम राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे राम राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे राम राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे राम राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे राम राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे राम राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे राम राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे राम हरे हरे Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे 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 राम हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, Japa is a time of self-examination. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being completely spiritually hungry and 10 being completely satisfied with your chanting, how would you rate yourself and why? We can take 3 reflections. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you think your chanting was and why? Green mic.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So if 1 being hungry, I would say maybe 5 or 6. Reason being, I tried to chant with the consciousness of relationship with the Krishna, where Krishna revealed that he is a friend, and the fact that he is also the creator, protector, maintainer. So I've been trying to focus on that and chant. But there are 2 things happening. One is I'm losing focus on the name itself. Another one is I'm losing focus on the relationship. So both are happening. In that way, I'm constantly trying to, fix on that. But for some time where I can do that, it felt that I was able to absorb more with the relationship in mind. That helped, yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being so honest. So being conscious also means that I'm just aware of the relationship. There's an example which is given in this book, The Living Name. It's like it's like honey and milk. So chanting, we chant and we listen. That's all. Prabhupada says there's nothing else. But the honey is that I know my relationship with Krishna. It's blended with the milk. So that consciousness comes from hearing and reading about our relationship. So we don't have to proactively think about it, but we have to be conscious about it. So that's how it works. We during our chanting, we just focus on listening the names. But if the mind gets distracted, then the relationships brings me back. Okay, this is important for me. This is important for me to chant with attention. We will read the next section that will give some more details into it. Anybody else would like to share their experience? Okay, Akshay Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. In my efforts to sort of be aware of the relationship with Krishna, I do find myself able to focus on it, on the Krishna consciousness piece, but I'm also aware of I'm conscious of my being as a man, as a human being. I'm not able to let go of that. So the entire frame of reference sort of becomes between a man trying to, chant the holy name. So that's why I would probably give it a 6 instead of, becoming outside of your existence of a man or human being to connect with the holy name.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. If I understand you right, because we have this bodily conception, so it is hard to completely relate to Krishna on a spiritual platform. That's natural. Yeah. So japa is a process of cleansing. But as we chant deeper, as we grow in chanting, we can realize our spiritual identity. But it's not abrupt, it's gradual to act on the spiritual platform, on the platform of spirit soul. So thank you for sharing, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Okay. If there's, I will read the next section. This is very nice. Okay, thank you. This is His Holiness Sachinandan Maharaj sharing from his personal life. At a certain point in my life, I stopped all I was doing to look back on the years behind me. I was deeply disappointed because I could see that I had not made full use of the teachings of Krishna consciousness. I still had most of the symptoms of material consciousness. I needed to change something or felt I would die of frustration. It was then that I began a sincere inquiry into why my spiritual progress had come to a halt and how I could truly advance from where I was. I asked this question, what is missing in my life? After arduous soul searching for maybe 3 to 4 years, one dear Vaishnav who was very close to Srila Prabhupada reminded me in a moving conversation of the importance of chanting the holy name properly. He challenged me, is that not what your spiritual master had told you? Why have you forgotten? These words came from the mouth of a man who chanted 64 rounds a day. There was tremendous force behind them. I thought to myself, he really does know what he's talking about. So I received his words deeply and felt a new awakening to the teachings of my spiritual master. Then I knew what I had to do. I began anew my journey with the holy name and discovered many things I had only heard of before. Perhaps the most important realization was that we have to chant the real name and not the shadow of the name. Let me ask you now, have you achieved what you most deeply desire in your spiritual life? What is your plan to get there? How long can you go on tasting shadow spiritual experiences? 1 more year? 2 more years? 3 more years? It is a serious issue. Personally, I have spent a lot of my life in shadow chanting and I am still falling into that trap. When I look around, I see many devotees who are not yet spiritually satisfied because they too are experiencing only the shadow of spiritual life. They attain a semblance, a look-alike, but not the real thing. It is for this reason we are not as spiritually strong as we would wish to be. So recently we visited Dallas for Sadhu Sangha retreat, and I had the good fortune to be in the temple, Radha Kalachandji temple. At that time I met a devotee. He chants 64 rounds every day. He completes 44 rounds before the Mangalarti. So he actually, that struck with me. He was emphasizing so much on chanting. And just like Maharaj mentioned, somebody who has tasted the holy name, so their words go deep in our heart. And I could feel that I should be more serious. How long can I go on like this? I do not feel any taste in chanting. How long can I pretend? So that really helped me to go deeper in my japa, to be more serious, to give priority to japa that it deserves. Okay, so if anybody else has any realizations or reflections, you can share, or we can chant for a few more minutes. Okay, Carl. Okay, yes, Mike.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
A question actually. Do you find that it fluctuates? You know, like you asked a number per se. I've had days like I remember. I think it was like 2-3 weeks ago. I mean, it was just on fire, like 8, 9, 9.5. You know, and like today, honestly, we have WWDC on Monday, and my mind is just so far beyond. You know, I just need to get through next Monday, and then I can kind of come back to it. Do you find that it kind of moves and fluctuates based upon what's going on in life and, you know, stuff like that? I mean, That's a thing, right?
Yes, that is natural. As Prabhupada says, we are conditioned living beings. We are not liberated souls. So we can feel humbled by these fluctuations. Conditioned living beings means to be under the modes of material nature. So there are some things that I'm attached to, material things. They are they are due to modes of passion and ignorance. I'm passionate about certain things and I like to be in ignorance about certain things. So yes, that experience should humble us. Oh, I'm still not there. I'm still not there. And what I'm doing, where am I? It's because of the mercy of Krishna and the devotees. So we can utilize that fluctuation and that those low times also to progress in our spiritual life. I am not liberated. I'm not there. So yes, that's natural. Thank you. Thank you, God. Hare Krishna. Purushottam Gaurang Prabhu. Hare Krishna, please go ahead.
I think just to add to Prabhuji's point, like I think I'm also was wanting to reflect on the same. Like basically, I think I've realized that for any big work events or family events, if I'm planning myself ahead of time, I think I'm less disturbed and chanting is better. And also, I think at work and family time, like if I'm consciously like, avoiding criticizing anybody or having any conflicts with them, like even the quality is still better, even though I'm still chanting 16 rounds, but then the quality is still better. So like having less conflicts and more preparation gives me that mental peace that I'm more steady than before. That's what I've observed when I'm planning better and avoiding conflicts.
Wow. That is beautiful tidbits or tips. Plan in advance so that my mind is not going towards urgent things, and also do not criticize. Very, very important to not criticize even a living entity, even a non-devotee or anybody. What to speak of criticizing a devotee? That can completely ruin our chanting. Thank you so much for sharing these practical things. So this planning ahead also is in the mode of goodness. So we can always prepare for future and be in the mode of goodness. So we are above the modes of passion and ignorance. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Okay, so we have few more minutes. I think we can chant and we can go ahead. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna. So we'll stop here. Thank you so much, dear devotees. Hari Naam Prabhu ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Vancha Kalpatarubhya.